Hey, good Monday morning, folks. Welcome aboard Top Gun Options morning brief. Speaking of briefs, we have two today. We have one at noon, which is open to the public, our weekly options brief, and then we have one at 2 p.m., which is actually called Solo Amazon. Solo Amazon isn't part of the Full Throttle program. It's a service where we just trade Amazon stocks. So looking forward to a really good day. We had a great welcome aboard brief last night. 850 people in that room. It went north of 2,000. We are currently at 2 triple sticks, 21111. 2,100 people registered for the rest of these Full Throttle briefs. If you missed last night, don't worry about it. You can go to the replay page, go.topgunoptions.com/FT replay. That stands for Full Throttle Replay. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT replay, and you can watch the replay from last night. Okay, strategically, guys, even though the futures are up in the market, futures don't indicate where the stock market's going to be going for the day. Matter of fact, many of these large swing days, the futures are completely disconnected from reality. Remember, when the stock market opens, my buddies who trade futures, go to bed. They go to the beach. So futures are not equities, equities are not futures, and they're not foreign exchange. And there's all sorts of different markets here, folks. We trade equity options. But let's talk strategically about some stuff, because it's a little creepy to be talking about money and markets right here when the Surgeon General of the United States got on TV yesterday and said, hell is here. The next 11, 14 days, it's going to be absolutely horrific for this country. I think they're calling the peak day 2006-77. Nearly on one day this week in the United States, more people will die than, or close to as many as died just on 9/11, folks. Now let's think through the peak. So at this moment, the next day when something goes down, we're going to celebrate. I guess you got to look for a silver lining in anything. But so instead of 2,700 people dying, only 2,500 people died the next day. And these are people, man. The tractor trailers all over New York City with bodies. I get we're looking for light at the end of the tunnel here, but this is going to be a very tough week. It's going to be a very, very tough week. Again, we will debrief this eventually. I'm not looking for some Adam shit or 5 Scotch Pelosi, right now type of thing. But one of my very good friends, Brian Ferguson, Ferg, you will not find a finer fighter pilot anywhere besides me. Great American, still wearing the uniform, airline guy. He had a great analogy the other day. You ever see Crimson Tide with Denzel Washington and Gene Hackman, the Navy submarine, the nuclear submarine, and the engine room's flooding, and Denzel's yelling over the speaker, "Close the hatch." And the emotional guy on the other side, right? We can't. There's 3 people in there. Close the hatch. No, I have to get these guys out. I'm ordering you to close the hatch, right? Think of this country as that submarine, man. You don't close that hatch, we're all going to die. Those 3 got to go, man. So the hatch closing moment was, what was it? I can't remember. Last week? The president needed to close the hatch on New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey, and he didn't. He was Denzel going, you should close the hatch. And the guy on the other end at the hatch was like, you make me do this and I'm going to sue you. That's Governor Cuomo. Governor Cuomo's a piece of shit. Here's a governor. So I'm going to sue you. And he used these words, folks. He said it would be an act of war if you tried to quarantine, New York. Let that sink in. Governor Cuomo was going to sue the president for the right of his people to flee his state and infect others. Governor Cuomo, you got more people killed. Period. You're a disgrace. You're going to sue? Where the hell does it say that your right to travel hits up against my right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness and not dying? So we should have shut the hatch. Again, I'm throwing some stones from the cheap seats here, but the president, not a commanding officer on a submarine at that point. Now I'm thinking about closing this stuff. I'm thinking about closing the hatch. Should close the hatch. We have not taken the draconian measures that they did in China, If you weren't here a month or 2 months ago when I was showing you the videos of what was going on in China before they got taken down, you want to talk about draconian measures? Or Italy, Lombardy, the northern regions, folks. People haven't been out of their houses in 2 months. They ain't out exercising or riding their bikes or walking their dogs, man. They're locked up. And as I reported a couple days ago, the death rates in Italy are way, not even close. Not due to, j'accuse, I'm not accusing them of everything. They just can't count. There's nursing homes where, 25 people died up in a mountain type of thing. They got buried. They didn't test them. No autopsies for COVID. So, as I've been saying, we're going to get through this. Going to make it through this. We're going to be, nobody's ever going to be the same. This country will never be the same. It'll be better, hopefully, in some ways, and it'll be a hell of a lot worse with the people that we lost. But like I said, the future is being, quote, up right now. I'm taking the opportunity to use these to get more bearish. Our market, there's some light at the end of the tunnel and stocks rally. Folks, we haven't even gotten into earnings yet. There's P to E, right? Price to earnings ratio. There ain't no E. There's no, United just said they're closing 90% of their flights into New York City. You look at some airports around the country and airliners are scattered around. There's no commerce going on, folks, but the stock market's going to go up a little bit. You got to be careful on these days. Like I've warned you, the easiest money ever made ever already happened. If you had listened to me in March, instead of calling me a traitor or an ass or arrogant, you'd be rich. That's the fact. This trading in here is going to be blue collar. It's going to be more sporty. So if you don't enjoy that, sit here and watch popcorn. When, not if, we get back to work, that'll be the second easiest money to be made. I'm going to be buying everything, man. My Lulus, Apple, JP Morgan, you name it. Buying CSX. But that's not right now. That's not on a day like today. I'm going to get more shorter. Brazil, for example. Bolsonaro's an idiot. He's worse than Trump, and he's going to get thousands of Brazilians killed. Looking at martial law, civil unrest down in Brazil. It sucks. So, and always remember this, the markets can remain irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Okay, so if you're sitting there going, why is it doing this? You're going to get blown out. Don't. Step one in trading this market, don't. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Okay? I talked about the replay page. One of the things we're going to look at doing today, Dr. Scott Gottlieb, he's been a 500-pound brain. Him, Birx, and Gottlieb, or Fauci. And I get the whole, he's a deep state Clinton appointee and blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. My God. I get it. If you listen just to him, if you listened just to him a month or 2 months ago, we would have shut down for 2 weeks and this thing would already be done. The stock market Dow would be 40,000. We didn't listen to guys like him. And now we're being dragged kicking and screaming to, or the president is, to what this guy's saying. Anyway, why am I rambling about this? Gottlieb has a great op-ed in the Wall Street Journal today about promising therapeutics and Gilead. We're long Gilead already. I'm going to add to my long Gilead position. Got a 4-page open letter from the CEO that I'm going to share at noon. That's some good stuff. So there are some potential bullish opportunities out there, but be very, 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 very careful. The other reason that this market might start either leveling out or going up is COVID fatigue. What do I mean by that? When we do hit the peak day, whenever it is, some projections, I hope this doesn't happen. Some projections are actually saying Easter. Like Easter? Seriously? To take Christ? I mean, so instead of hearing about just a phenomenal miracle, we're going to be hearing about the most Americans dying on that day? Jesus, this is going to be COVID fatigue, though. The market at a certain point is, and this is Gordon Gekko talking. This is not Lieutenant Buckley talking as an American. This is me talking as Gordon Gekko. The market's going to get over this. It's going to have COVID fatigue and stop caring, and it's going to just look forward, right? That's what the stocks do. They look forward and trying to project what's going to be happening and try and put that into the price right now. So if we get COVID fatigue, you might see a market rally. I just don't. It's absolutely hard to predict this stuff. I'm reading reports throughout the day, night, 24/7 here, and people just trying to figure out when we get back to work so they could potentially trade it, right? When are we going to be open for business? Clearly, the president wants it open for business, and you guys know where I stand on that right now. I called it MAWA last night, M-A-W-A, Make America Work Again. You didn't listen to closing it down, and we could have defeated it with less deaths. We'll talk about that in the debrief. Now, we got to get back to work. The economic impact, we will hurtle into a Great Depression. And you know what sucks? Is, our forefathers, they kind of ate a big shit sandwich, but look at where we are today. Everybody in my house has a cell phone. We haven't seen suffering in this country. We haven't seen hardship. We haven't seen people have to make sacrifices. You start seeing that in this country, folks, and it's going to be insane. I'm already seeing some insanity. Check this out. Some New York City cops arrested people for not social distancing. They were like on a street corner socializing. So they threw them in jail with about 30 people in the cell, and I think they're all infected now. There's your fucking government, folks. We're arresting you for non-social distancing. We're going to put you in jail, and now you're infected. One last thing, too, on the Small Business Administration loans. I'm hearing it's an absolute train wreck. Wells Fargo said, we're only going to do about $10 billion. We're not, and we've already hit that. Wells Fargo. Why are they doing that? I'll never forget one of my banker buddies over the weekend. He's like, yeah, we're a little I'm like, whoa, Len, the president's saying, Mnuchin saying now, you're getting money now. He's like, we don't know if we trust the full faith and credit of the United States government. I about dropped my phone, man. We're known for our America and buy treasuries, and it's backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. When bankers start worrying about where they're getting their money from, I mean, technically, folks, we can just print money. We can buy the paper, we can buy the ink, and we can just print money. And then in a year from now, you're going to get a loaf of bread like they did in Germany with a wheelbarrow full of dollars. So very, very interesting times. Don't be fooled out by some of these bear market rallies. And remember, some of these 1,000-point up days by the end of the day could be 1,000-point down days. Okay, so step one, be safe. Don't trade if you don't know what you're doing. You're going to get wiped out, period. Cash is a position, man. It's a pretty damn good position at this point. I got a bunch of testimonials and case studies from people who said, I didn't do any of the trades you said here, but I did listen to you and went to cash. And if the one lady sent me an email the other night, she would have lost $200,000 had she not listened to me and went to cash. Awesome. I almost had too many stories to tell. But again, easy money made, blue collar, easy money to be made again. But the made again ain't going to be anytime soon, because we got earnings coming this week, starting to kick off, and it's going to be literally grabbing popcorn. I don't know how CEOs and CFOs can get on a phone call and give you well, our forward earnings look like this. Actually, I think about 25% of S&P countries have actually said we're not going to give any forward guidance. It's just over with, okay? So, and on a high note, we're going to get through this. Unfortunately, some folks aren't going to make it through this, but I'm pretty sure if you're listening to me, you will. How about that? All right. I'll see many of you at noon. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT. That stands for Full Throttle. If you haven't registered for any of our briefs yet, you have to now. Go.topgunoptions.com/FT, and you can register for today's brief, tomorrow's briefs, and then Wednesday's E-Trade demo. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I'll see you guys in the briefing.